All right, hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. Welcome to another Sound Exchange session. That's the title, at least we've been calling these discussion topics, but I've never really used that title. I thought we'd give it a go here on this. Got Anthony, my co-host, joining in, co-owner of Sound Exchange, along with his partner Stephanie. And today's topic. So I've been thinking a lot about this. There's all different types of fans out there in the world. And you get, everyone from the very casual fan all the way up to the die-hard. And I was sort of trying to quantify this. And I think I've come up with, I think I did. But yeah, it was really hard. And I probably left out a lot in between on this. But I think I've narrowed it down to 5 types of music fans. And I thought we'd run through that today and try to quantify it. All right, so breaking this down, I'm going to start with the least amount of interest in the band. And and we're talking about fans, we're not talking about people that are interested in it, but somebody who would only be interested in, say, one album by a band or 1 or 2 albums by a band.
Can't that go 2 ways though?
Explain that. Like, how do you mean by that?
Now it comes down to a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
So you finish and let
me
readjust my thought.
I love the Purple album by the Donnas. Does that have a title to it? Bitchin', I think?
Bitchin'.
Yeah. I love that album, but I've tried all the other Donnas albums and I can't get into it. So I am a huge fan of that one album. Listen to it pretty regularly.
That falls into a style of music.
Yes.
I guess, here's the fine line.
Right.
That falls into a style of music that you're into.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Where I love all Donnas because I just love the Donnas.
Right. You're a fan of the band.
And
I'm a fan of that style of music.
They can do no wrong.
Right.
For me.
Right. And I know that you're a big fan of the one Pink Floyd album, Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Yes, here we go, breaking it down, fine, really drawing shit out of it. Mm-hmm. It's not that I'm a fan of a style of music that Momentary Lapse of Reason is. The record resonates with me and it draws something out of me.
Was it from an experience?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, when you're into a particular album, it usually comes down to an experience or a memory or a time frame. And yeah, the Donnas album for me is a genre. I love that 80s rock sound.
Yes.
And when I heard that, I said, oh my God, this stuff is fantastic. Then I wanted every other album by them to be that.
And that's my least favorite genre.
And it wasn't it, yeah. And I'm that way with other bands where they make a one-off sort of disco-infused rock album, and I'll love it, but every other style of music that they've done, not for me or something. So,
and it's not that I don't not like Pink Floyd.
Right. It doesn't resonate. So you're a very small fan of a particular part of that band.
Which I guess breaks down to, we might as well just go to the end of the video. You're just a fan of music. Right? I just shit on all the others before.
Thanks, yeah, thank you. Just told the video. Bye everyone. But it's true. And in the end of the day, it's just we're all fans of music. But with that, it's the same way there's certain people that are just into Def Leppard hysteria because of the time, the era. Maybe they were in high school or something when that came out.
It was huge.
It was the biggest album around.
And even if you didn't listen to it then, the song comes on now.
Yeah. The people that
turns on, you're ready to go.
Yeah. They own that one big album by all the bands. The only AC/DC album they have is Back in Black. And the only Fleetwood Mac album is Rumors. Right, exactly. So it's there's those kind of fans. Right?
Yeah.
And they will tell you that they're a fan of that band and they will go see them in concert just to hear those couple songs from
5
that album.
songs.
And that's it. So the second type of fan is the one that knows all the hits. So
just the hits.
Just the hits. They don't know anything else.
That's a radio guy.
Yeah, that's right.
a top 40 radio
They
person,
grew up
right?
with it. They say they love this band, but all they know is the greatest hits.
And that doesn't mean that they don't love the band. It just
right.
means that their life hasn't allowed them to delve any further into it.
They might not be as big a music fan as say we are or other fans are. Right, like you said, this really all just comes down to
obsession.
Yeah, to obsession, exactly. Because when we get to the end of this list,
they have a normal life, and
right.
we don't.
Yeah, do you have OCD or not? Yeah. So you have those, and then you have the fan that is just of the heyday of a band. So, you have those fans that are always, they love the first 3 albums by Def Leppard. I'm bringing this up because Def Leppard just dropped their box set for Pyromania. So I've got Def Leppard on the brain, of course, my t-shirt. But I'm using them as the example where there's always these people that are like, oh, there's, everything after Pyromania
I can't
sucks.
get rock till you drop out of my head, and it just makes me
I
so
know.
angry.
Yeah, and I think that was
was
that our last
it was
video?
a car conversation.
That was the car
Go ahead,
conversation.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So go ahead, you end it.
Now I can't look at that song without thinking
Anything
that.
with the word rock and
Right.
wanting to rock it. Just,
Right. And I realized that song, little side note here, is rock, exclamation point, rock, exclamation point, and the two you drop is just parentheses. So the song originally was just rock. So which is even worse. The rock till you drop, at least, has some meaning behind it. Anyway.
But then heyday things
Right.
too.
I've
always been a large Bon Jovi fan.
Right.
But
Okay. But you just like the stuff from the 80s?
I realize I'm in love with two albums. Because
Okay.
I feel like Def Leppard, well, no, they changed too, but I think they maintained more of a sound, where Bon Jovi, once they
he's
came out in the
changed
90s, now Bon Jovi from 92 forward
Yeah.
sounds the same.
True,
Right?
exactly.
It's the same band. It's strange. But so I'm a heyday guy. I don't.
You don't like that second era?
I just watched a 4-hour documentary.
I want to do a whole video on that. I was going to ask you if you watched it. I've only watched the first
it.
episode. He's talking about Thank You, Good Night, the Bon Jovi story. It's airing on Hulu. And I loved it. That first episode, I thought, okay,
It's good.
this is way better than I expected it to be.
It's not as good as the Tom Petty Running Down the Dream documentary,
no.
which I compare all documentaries to, and not just because I love everything by Tom Petty, right? Tom Petty never changed. He was always Tom Petty. So that's enough. I mean, it'll probably topic for another video. But so when it comes to Bon Jovi, the first album's good. 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. No.
Right.
Wow.
It's just a metal
but
album.
Slippery When that's not metal. And in the documentary, they kept calling him a heavy metal band.
I know.
Fucking, what are you talking about? Whatever.
I like how your New Jersey accent just came out when you said that.
Slippery When Wet and New Jersey are great. They're just great albums, and maybe it's because of a time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of music. Doesn't mean you're not a fan of music.
Right.
It's just, there's a thing, a time and a place.
Time and place and era. Yeah.
But then there's fans that don't go back to that, and they only know 2000 Bon Jovi, or they only know.
Well, there are. I mean,
Keep the Faith and the one that came after it.
These days.
These days.
You're right. I mean, there are, when they put out Crush in 2000, it brought in an entirely new generation of fans, and there are fans that only know them going forward from that. And that's
their heyday.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. 40-year career.
Now that's 24 years ago.
Yeah,
if you can believe that.
Shit.
It is crazy, right? Because I remember the second coming of Bon Jovi. And
second coming of Bon Jovi.
And when
I
know, and when I think of the fact that was 24 years ago, it blows my mind.
I listened to New Jersey 3 times yesterday.
I listened to John Bon Jovi's first solo album from Blaze of Glory and Richie Sambora's Stranger in This Town.
That Blaze of Glory is awesome.
Okay, and then I went even further back to John Bon Jovi's Power Station years, the tracks that actually came out under his original name, Bon Jovi.
Still better than 7,800 degrees.
I don't know. That's a whole other debate. We need to do a Bon Jovi video.
Metal, I call fucking Bon Jovi metal.
Right, so heyday fans,
it's
only
a
of a
thing.
particular era, and no matter, every time, it's like the Pearl Jam fans, right? So everyone right now,
That's
not
not
everyone.
10, so F you.
That's
Like,
right.
okay,
People
man.
are just crapping, not everyone, but there are people that are crapping on it, just saying, oh, it's not like the first three, it's not like the first three. And I'm like, go back to those first three, and all three of them were different. Versus was so different than 10, and Vitology was different than both of those albums, and that was okay for them at the time.
And then you get No Code, which was another totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
And people were okay with that because it was their heyday, and they were immersed in it. And now Pearl Jam makes a different record.
You get old.
Yeah, and they make a different
Pearl
record.
Jam's
People
made
go,
the same record the last 3 records. So all the people that are saying, oh, this is just like, this just comes back to their first. No, it doesn't. It sounds like exactly what Pearl Jam sounded like on the last record.
And why is everyone saying it sounds like Yield? I don't hear that.
I didn't hear that at all.
I don't hear it.
I mean, I didn't hear anybody say that.
I think I read it in a review somewhere, and I'm wondering if all these people that are commenting on the video that are mentioning that are ones that have read these reviews, and just other reviewers are picking up on it.
And then they're just spitting words out without
Yeah.
even listening. I put on a record now by a band I like. Without reading review. And if I read something, I totally dismiss it because I just want to hear the record. I don't give a shit what somebody else thinks.
I listen to the record before I'll read a review. I want to read reviews just to see whether my impression of it matches what other people are thinking, but I won't read it beforehand because I don't want it to cloud my judgment. I want to just hear the music to hear the
Yes,
music.
I know it won't cloud my judgment anymore. But it used to.
Yeah.
Like, that was my fear.
I've
been able to draw that line and say, I don't care.
It's like the rock till you drop thing. I was fine with that song until you made that comment, and now I can't get it out of my head. I still love the song, but I listen to it and I go,
it opens up the
kinda
record. Does it open up
cheesy.
Pyromania or Hysteria?
Pyromania.
It opens up Pyromania, and you're like, man. Speaking on Pyromania, Too Late. Tell me that's not an AC/DC song if you listen to the demo.
Oh, I like the demo.
Right?
Yeah,
the demo,
yeah.
it's straight out. That is AC/DC all the way.
There are AC/DC fans.
Well, then they should have written rock till you drop.
That's an AC/DC lyric.
AC/DC was so much better than that. So much more clever.
No, there's nothing clever about
Yes,
AC/DC
there is.
lyrics. No, it's not.
Yes. Mistress for Christmas, come on. You can't beat that.
I hate that is in the middle of
a non-Christmas album.
Yes, put it at the end.
Like Billy Idol did.
Yes.
He put a Christmas song right
No,
there.
he's screaming at the Christmas tree is in the middle of the album.
Ah, damn it.
I know. All right.
Um,
The fourth type of music fan.
What's up, dude?
Hey, lucky day, you guys are filming.
Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Fletch away.
Good. Looking for anything in particular?
No, you guys.
Oh,
No.
okay. Well, hey, we're in the middle of the video.
It was months ago. I was flipping through YouTube. I don't mean to cut you off.
Fletch apparently was looking for us, and he found us.
I'm like, I know that guy.
He knows where to come.
Yeah, there you
find
go.
him.
You knew where
Brendan
we are.
gets phone calls here now.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
People call and say, "Is Brendan there?" I'm like, what do you think? This is his house?
People send packages here for
People
me.
send packages here.
And then I had a 400 disc CD player. I had to get repaired. And I had no idea where to take it. And then you went to the place in Verona. Sound.
That's our guys, man.
Right,
So I
right.
said, let me go try there.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
went in and I said, I seen this guy on YouTube.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
I'm glad that helps you, man.
All right, so
All right,
Die Hard who loves everything.
Yeah, the diehard music fan, right? So it's the guy that likes everything. It's the guy that has all the albums from a particular band. So I have every Bon Jovi album. I have every Def Leppard album. I consider myself a diehard fan of the band. I like the old stuff. I like the new stuff. I happen to be the biggest fan of their Hysteria and Adrenalized era. And that always like...
You mean Def Leppard because you just said Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
So we're,
Yes, sorry, I'm talking about...
Because our brains are so scattered now.
I
And
know.
rock till you drop is just in your head.
It is. So, but it's, so I came up in the middle era. Well, middle at that time, but I mean post the new wave of British heavy metal stuff that they started with and then moving into Hysteria and Adrenalized. But I've continued to like where they've gone with things. So I like the early new wave of British heavy metal stuff, the glam metal stuff, and the just rock stuff.
I thought they were just always rock. So when you throw it into those categories, it's like Chinese to me. It makes
it's
no
like
sense
nails
at all.
on a chalkboard.
No,
for
it
you.
it makes absolutely no sense because now I'm starting to think in my head.
Right.
I don't hear any of that in any of it. So it's
1979 though, they're a British band playing heavy metal. They're part of the new wave of
I don't
British
think
heavy
they were
metal.
playing heavy metal.
Totally.
It's rock and roll. But
No.
see here
Yeah,
we
I
go,
know.
fucking genres again.
All
So
right.
there's a diehard who loves
Right.
everything, right?
That's right.
But do you love it? Or do you
you mean?
just love the band that much that you have?
Yeah.
Neither one is wrong.
To me, it's I love the band, and I'm gonna buy everything the band does, and I may like an album less than another. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan. I've got Generation Swine in my collection, but I'll never go back and listen to it. I pull it out once in a blue moon.
I feel like I just vomited in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Have you heard the new song "Dogs of War"?
That's what made me vomit in my mouth,
that
not
song-
Generation Swine.
should appear on Generation Swine, not on.
That song should never appear.
Yeah. I like all the little side tangents today.
You know what? But the diehard Motley Crue fan doesn't give a shit.
Well, okay,
They're
right.
going to go, this is the greatest thing ever.
No,
They're not going to be subjective.
See, then maybe I'm not a diehard Motley Crue fan because I'm still listening to it. I'm still buying everything that they do, but I don't like that song.
You
and I
can
have said as
fine line
much.
diehard. I
Yeah.
believe there's a second side on every. So
you're right.
diehards have two.
Okay, yeah.
The diehard who just wants to scream out Motley Crue and doesn't even own a record by them anymore, doesn't even listen to them anymore,
right.
probably doesn't even turn on his fucking radio.
So maybe there's six. After diehard, there's fanatic. Somebody who is just over them. Doesn't matter what they do. They could shit on a paper plate and they would love
But then
it.
there's, so fanatic falls into. Again,
Excessive.
I think that there's, I think there's a split in each of them.
Yeah.
Fanatics going to fall into the thing too, where it does. There's a guy on the diehard and fanatic line.
Yeah.
That doesn't own them anymore, listen to them anymore, doesn't care.
Really?
But
you don't think
you
you
know,
can be a diehard or fanatic if that's the case?
I believe that too.
Yeah.
But then that guy's still going to know everything there is to know.
Someone's going to go, oh, well, hey, there's the guy that is the diehard Guns N' Roses fan that gave me his collection.
Doesn't stop him from being a diehard fan. He knows more information about Guns N' Roses than anybody in this room ever will altogether.
That's right. And yet
he just wants to pass it on.
He passed it on. That's true. So there is that fan
or there's just
there.
a jerk off that wants to be a Motley Crue fan because that's what you have to be a fan of right now.
Right. Or back then.
So that's a diehard asshole or diehard fanatic.
That's true.
Or diehard asshole or fanatic asshole.
Well, and then we've done that whole thing where are you a true music fan or an asshole music fan? That's a whole.
So it goes back. So you can attribute.
This.
So I guess that's a line I'm looking at.
Right. Exactly.
Asshole or diehard.
Right. All right.
Two different things.
And the last one in here, whether this is the 6th or the 5th or the 6th, is what I call the musicologist. And it is that diehard music fan. Encyclopedic person. Yeah. And I'm going to, again, relate this to the recent Def Leppard box set for Pyromania. I know. This is how the topic popped into my mind.
It's okay.
Is that on that, if you brought in that box set, there is a second disc of rarities that has unfinished demos.
The first five or six songs.
And they're like 47.
It's pretty cool, man.
They are. But it's like 47 seconds, a minute and a half. The longest one is 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and there's 6 of them. They're killer. I love it. It's awesome. But I realized
because you're a fanatic.
I'm a fanatic.
Because you're a diehard.
I'm a diehard.
And it doesn't matter. You could shit on a piece of bread, put Def Leppard's name on it. You're like, this is the greatest sandwich I've ever had.
Exactly. But that's going to be for
that way.
The musicologist, the person that wants to dissect everything and own every little snippet and say, what could have been? What if this riff had become that song instead?
I'm that way with a lot of bands.
Yeah. And so to me, you run that gauntlet. You run from the knows one album, knows the hits, likes a particular era, loves everything by the band, and then it's the person that just has everything, the bootlegs, we got to run out and buy that Mojo magazine that has the Pearl Jam Rarities live disc because we are that kind of music fan.
I probably have the shit, but I don't have that.
But I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it in that pressing, in that sequence, and so I've got to get it. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, guys, that's where at least I'm categorizing the 5, maybe 6 types of music fans. We'll have to revisit this. There's probably 22 different types, but
yeah, I think this is a good generalization.
Yeah. And where do you guys think you fall within this?
Are you an asshole fan?
Right.
Are you a fan? Are you
a general fan, a hits fan, a diehard
I'm
fan?
just a music fan.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a diehard or a fanatic of anything or anybody anymore because...
But you are more than just a music fan. You are
a diehard music fan.
I would say you're a
fanatical music
fan. Yeah.
I'm a musicologist music fan.
Right.
Just because I know more shit. What's up, man?
Exactly.
About other shit.
That's right. More shit than other shit. Well, Anthony knows a lot of shit, and I know a lot of shit. Hopefully
together we
guys
know tons of shit.
That's right. And,
I don't know shit.
This guy doesn't know shit. So, all together, we'll make up a bunch of shit. So on that note, we'll say goodbye, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Sound Exchange Sessions, and we'll see you guys soon.